What if I told you? One pilot, in a single mission, faced wave after wave of enemy aircraft, with almost no time to prepare. Outnumbered, outpaced, and already too late to stop the attack. And yet, by the end of it, he had shot down 7 enemy planes and saved an entire fleet from destruction. This isn't a legend. This actually happened. What if I told you? One pilot, in a single mission, faced wave after wave of enemy aircraft, with almost no time to prepare. Outnumbered, outpaced, and already too late to stop the attack. And yet, by the end of it, he had shot down 7 enemy planes and saved an entire fleet from destruction. This isn't a legend. This actually happened. October 26, 1942. The Pacific Ocean had become a battlefield of steel and fire. American and Japanese forces were locked in a brutal struggle for control, and everything now depended on aircraft carriers. On that day, 2 American giants, the USS Enterprise and the USS Hornet, were sailing near the Santa Cruz Islands, and the Japanese were coming, not with a small force, but with everything. Alarms screamed across the deck of the Enterprise. Pilots ran. Engines roared. And in the middle of the chaos, Lieutenant Stanley, Swede, Vejtasa climbed into his aircraft. His squadron, the VF-10 Grim Reapers, was the only thing standing between the fleet and total destruction. But there was a problem. They were late. Too low. Too far behind. And the enemy was already inbound. And by the time Swede reached the sky, the battle had already begun. Out of the clouds, they came. Japanese Vals dive bombers, dropping straight toward the Hornet. Swede watched as bombs struck the deck. Explosions ripping through steel. Flames rising into the sky. The defense had already failed. But Swede didn't hesitate. He pushed his Wildcat to maximum power, beyond safe limits. And then, he attacked. He climbed, turned, and lined up behind a retreating Val. For a moment, everything slowed. Then, he fired. 6.50 caliber machine guns erupted. A wall of bullets tore through the bomber. Metal shattered. Oil sprayed. And the aircraft disintegrated mid-air. One down. But the battle was just beginning. Then came the real danger. Low over the ocean. Fast. Silent. Deadly. Torpedo bombers. The Japanese Kates were moving in. And if they reached the Enterprise, it was over. One torpedo could cripple the carrier. Multiple hits? Certain destruction. Swede knew this. So he didn't climb. He didn't hesitate. He dove. From high above. Swede and his wingman, Tex Harris, dropped like missiles. Engines screaming. Air ripping past their wings. They came down fast. Faster than the enemy expected. And before the Kates could react, they were already in range. Swede opened fire. Not in bursts. Not carefully. But in a relentless stream of bullets. A wall of lead. The first Kate exploded. The second spiraled into the ocean. The third torn apart mid-flight. Swede weaved through anti-aircraft fire, predicting every move, staying one step ahead. One by one, the bombers fell. But there was a problem. Ammo was running out. Only one Kate remained, and it was heading straight For the Enterprise. Swede lined up behind it. No hesitation. No second chances. He fired everything he had left. The rounds hit. The wing caught fire. The bomber was going down. But then, something unexpected happened. The Japanese pilot didn't pull away. He didn't eject. He didn't try to escape. Instead, he turned straight toward the fleet. A final act. A suicide run. The burning aircraft missed the Enterprise by seconds. But it didn't miss everything. It slammed directly into the USS Smith. A massive explosion erupted. Fire. Smoke. Chaos. But the carrier was safe. The sky grew quieter. The waves of attack had been broken. Swede returned to the carrier. His aircraft damaged. His ammo gone. But his mission complete. 7 enemy aircraft in a single mission. In ace in a day. One of the rarest achievements in aviation history. But the numbers don't tell the whole story. Because this wasn't just about skill or firepower. It was about timing, awareness, and decisions made under impossible pressure. Because in combat, you don't get perfect conditions. You get chaos. And what you do in that chaos defines everything. Swede Vejtasa didn't just win a battle. He changed its outcome. He protected a fleet. And in doing so, helped shape the course of the war in the Pacific. Because sometimes, it only takes one pilot, one moment, and one decision to change everything.